अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमतान् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन् पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः।
మన తరువాతి అంశము ప్రవచనము. ముందుగా స్వామి రమణ స్వరూపానంద గారు హృదయ కుహర మధ్యే అనే అంశం మీద ప్రవచనం చేస్తారు. ఆయన ఆంగ్లంలో ప్రవచనం చేస్తారు. సో ద నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ ఇస్ ప్రవచనం బై స్వామి రమణ స్వరూపానంద జీ ఆన్ హృదయ కుహర మధ్యే. Extending a warm welcome with my humble pranam, sir.
Hari Om, Namaskaram. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to this Ramana Satsang. Today we shall see a very beautiful verse composed by Bhagawan Sri Ramana Maharshi. In 1915, that is 15, when Bhagavan was residing at a Skandashramam, one great scholar, Jagadisha Shastri, he came to his abode, and one day he just wrote on a piece of paper, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye, and then he left it there. He went away for some reason. Then when he came back, for his surprise, he found this thing was completed by Bhagawan Sri Ramana Maharshi himself. Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Aham Ahamidi Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati Hridi Visha Manasa Tum Chinvata Majjatava Bhavana Chalana Rodhat Atma Nishto Bhavatvam. These were the 4 lines written by Bhagavan himself, and later he has translated into Tamil also, and he added it into Ulladinarpada Anubandham also. That goes like this: Idayamam Guhayin Apan Ekamam Brahma Matram Adu Aham Ahama Nere Avindidum Anmava Idayame Sarvai Tannai Enni Aal Aladu Vayu Adanudan Aal Manathal Anmavil Nittanavai. See here, Bhagavan gives what is this Brahma Tattva, where is it, and how to abide in it, or how to enter into it, or abide in it. So all the 3 questions are answered in this simple looking shloka. Very profound and very beautiful shloka. So we shall see one by one. Idayamam guhayin apan ekamam brahma matram adu ahamahama mere avindidum anmava hridaya guhara madhye kevalam brahma matram aham ahamidi sakshat atma rupena bhati. Meaning the Brahma Tattvam, which is defined as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, meaning that which is Satyam. Satyam is which is real. In all the periods of time, it cannot be negated. That is Satyam. Satyam Jnanam. It is of the nature of pure knowledge. Knowledge means that knowledge which illuminates the light and the darkness, the presence and the absence. That is absolute knowledge. Jnanam Anantam. Anantam means infinite, meaning no upadhi whatsoever, no conditioning whatsoever. It is beyond body, mind. So that Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Ekamam Brahmamatram, is one without the second. Hridaya Kuhara Madhye, Ekamam Brahmamatram. So where is it? It is Hridaya Kuhara Madhye, in our own heart. Heart means, as Bhagavan always used to point out, it is not the physical heart, it is a spiritual heart, which is slightly towards the right of our chest. So, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye, in the cave of our spiritual heart. The heart means from where all the thoughts rises and where all the thoughts subsides. So in that heart, Ekamam Brahma Matram, Aham Ahamidi Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. In the cave of the heart, this Brahma Tattvam, which is the absolute, that shines as Aham Ahamidi Sakshat, as I, Atma Rupena Bhati, as one's own self, it shines. So that Brahma Tattvam, which is a substratum of everything, of all, and which is the Satyam Jnanam Anantam, is shining in our own heart as Atma Rupena Bhati, as one's own self. So according to our Vedanta Shastra, this Brahma Tattvam is nothing but Atma Tattvam only. Brahma Tattva means which is substratum of the whole universe. And that is nothing but the Atma Tattvam, which is within our own self, our own heart, which is beyond the body-mind of this individual. Aham Ahamidi Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. Therefore, we need not run anywhere else to find or to know this absolute, this Brahma Tattvam. It is very much shining as I in our own heart. So, we have to turn within. Atma Rupena Bhati. Hridavisha Manasa. So how to go about it? How to know this? How to abide in it? Hridavisha Manasa. Your mind turned within. Hridavisha. Meaning, you have to enter into this heart. Hridavisha Manasa. The mind which is always extrovert, always looking out, it has to turn within. It has to give up all the external things, objects, emotions and thoughts, and it has to turn within. Hridavisha Manasa, the mind which is turned and focusing on itself and trying to enter the heart. Hridavisha Manasa. Tum Chinmata Majjata. The mind has to subside. Mind has to, Majjata means it has to drown or it has to subside. Chinmata, by thinking about its own source. Meaning, here comes the Bhagavan's original teaching. The mind has to now give up all the other things external and it has to turn within asking, who am I? That is indicated by Hridavisha Manasa Chinvata. Majjata means when it retraces its path, when it goes towards its source, Majjata, the mind subsides in the heart. Non talai saindidum undipara, meaning the I perishes or it merges. However you want to call, you can call. So, Hridavisha Manasa Chinvata Majjata. So it has to seek its own source. Who am I? From where this I thought is arising? So, retracing one's own source, the mind has to subside within. Or, Va means or Pavana Chalana Rodhat. or by restraining one's breath. Pavana Chalana means what? Pavana means the breath or the Vayu. Chalana means it is always moving. Pavana Chalana Rodhat, by restraining or by stopping the Pavana Chalanam, the breath, that is through Kumbhakam. If the mind subsides, then that is also another path through which one can abide in the source. So Bhagavan says, by any of these two things, Atmanishto Bhavatvam, may you abide in the truth, in the self. See, this is actually a beautiful Ashirvachanam. Anmavil Nittanava in Tamil. In Sanskrit, Atmanishto Bhavatvam, may you abide in the self always. So here, Bhagavan has beautifully given two parts. See, actually, Bhagavan's original teaching is the first one only. Hridaya Manasa from Chinvata Majjhatava. You have to inquire, who am I? And you have to dive deep within oneself, searching for the source of all the thoughts and abide in the self. Then there may come the question, why Bhagavan has given the second path, Pavana Chalana Rodhat. Why is it? Even in Upadesha Undiyar or Upadesha Saram, Bhagavan in the Raja Yoga path, he talks about this Pavana Chalana Rodhat. He says, Odukka Valiyai Odungu Mulattai Vidukkave Or Vali Undi Para Viyum Madan Uru Undi Para. So I am very well versed in Tamil verses. Sanskrit also is beautiful. But I am very fond of these because it is Bhagavan's original and later it came out in other languages. So here also he says, when you restrain the breath, the prana, the mind is restrained. And then he says, Vidukkave Orvadi Undivara. That is not enough. You have to apply that mind which is now restrained, Orvadi, in one. Meaning what? In contemplation of one, or in seeking the source of the one, or the I thought. So it is very clearly said, this Pavana Chalana Rodhat is helpful in controlling the mind. But that is not the end of all. See, for some sadhakas, the mind is very, very stubborn and very, very confused and agitated. For them to sit and for them to do this Atmavichara, it becomes very difficult. So out of compassion, Bhagavan gives this aid or this help. What he says? Okay, now if you are unable to control your mind, don't worry. Now you control your breath. So when you control your breath, automatically the mind also will be controlled. Traditionally, when you follow this Kumbhaka, when this pranayama, this Puraka, Rechaka and Kumbhaka, they say, when you hold the breath in your heart, the mind also subsides. After that, the mind has to be applied in the contemplation of one, or in the vichara, the source of the I thought. See, this is what is very important, because Bhagavan, he recommends a very beautiful book called as Olivil Odukkam. In Tamil, it is called as Olivil Odukkam. Bhagavan talks very high about this text, Olivil Odukkam. Though it is a Saiva text, it has got wonderful Vedantic, these Advaitic ideas. So, if a person, if he is only controlling his breath, he is not abiding, means his mind is not merging in the self, what happens? In this Olivil Odukkam, the author wants a beautiful words. I will first read out in Tamil and then I will explain to you in English. Arivu adanga vayu adanga asaivatru tariyirundar pola samadhi perigin adanga kurutuma Nanjarundi Padu Kidanda Kudi Pukkinum Kedu. Here it is said, when the breath is restrained, but the mind, though it is somewhat restrained, but it is not merged with the self, then what happens? What is his state? Bhagavan in other place he is calling it as Jada Samadhi. Here in Odibudodakam it is very clearly said, he is like a person who is blind and also dumb. Kurudu Umai, meaning he is blind and dumb, and Nanjarundi, he has taken poison. And then when he was walking in that state, he has fallen into a deep well, which is located in the outskirts, very outskirts, where nobody comes or nobody goes. So, Palur Kidanda Kudi Pukkinum Ked, it is worse than that situation. See, this fellow is blind, so he doesn't know where he is walking, so he has fallen into the well. And he is dumb, he cannot shout for help. He cannot shout for help. And he has already consumed poison also. So, if he cannot be retrieved, similarly, this person whose mind has not merged with the self, but only the prana has subsided and the mind is restrained for some extent, if he has not applied his mind on Atmavichara or contemplation of the self, his state is worse than this fellow who has fallen into the well. So it's very clearly given in Kanagammal's commentary about this verse. It is very clearly given. One has to restrain the breath so that the mind will subside, or it will be also restrained. But again, the mind has to be applied in the contemplation of the self, or in the Atmavichara, in finding the source of the Ahankara, Ahamvritti. So this is what Bhagavan is trying to explain. So number one, this Satyam Jnanam Ananta Brahma is very much in our own heart, cave of our own heart. It is shining as I, Anavaradam always. It's shining as I, as Atma, the self. And if you have to abide in it, you have to inquire, who am I? And you have to enter into the heart. Either by inquiry, Shinvata Majjata, meaning you have to dive deep, that is called as Majjata, through inquiry or through the restraint of breath. Anma Nishtana, Atmanishto Bhavatvam. May you always abide in the self. So, this is Bhagavan's beautiful words on the Brahma Tattvam or the Atma Swarupam and how to abide in it. So I will stop here, and there are another 6-7 minutes, which I will open it up for some questions if you have. Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji. I am Lavanya Rao.
Yes.
I will just proceed to the Q&A questions and answer session. ఎవరైనా ప్రశ్నలు అడగదలుచుకుంటే వెంటనే దయచేసి మీ హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేయండి. హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేయడం అంటే తెలుసు కదా, దాంట్లో ఉంటాయి ఇమోజీస్ ఉంటాయి, ఇట్లా చేతి సింబల్ ఉంటుంది అంటే. లేదంటే మీ వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకొని మాకు తెలుస్తుంది మీరు క్వశ్చన్ అడగదలుచుకున్నారని. వెంటనే మీకు అన్మ్యూట్ అవుతుంది మైక్. సో ఇఫ్ ఎనీబడి వాంట్స్ టు రైజ్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్, ప్లీజ్ రైజ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్ ఫస్ట్, then you can pose a question. So if you cannot raise your hand, if you don't know how to raise your hand, then open your video. From that we can know that you are planning to question on the subject. Okay. Malini, would you like to ask some question? Let me.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Swamiji, actually, when you had last addressed a gathering at the satsang, I had a question to you. And today the same question still persists in my mind. When there is something which is physically bothering you, and you have been to surgeons, you have been to doctors who say this is something which is beyond their understanding. So as a normal mortal who has not attained that level of spiritual enlightenment, how does one take this suffering and continue to lead life?
Yeah, I agree with you. The physical suffering is very, very difficult to negotiate or to go through. See, that's what I'm saying. If you are unable to concentrate on Atmavichara, let us say, who are my inquiry, you can take the name of the Lord. That is very easy, and that is sulabham and very. It's really healing also. The name of the Lord. So whichever Lord, whichever may be your Ishta Devata, you can take the name of the Lord and you go on chanting the Lord's name. For example, Rama means Rama, 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 Rama. So it's wonderful. Just go on taking the name of the Lord. So that is the easiest way. Or you can listen to some beautiful music about Bhagavan, Bhagavatam, all those stuff. Or if you are very, very devoted to Bhagavan, if you only want this Atmavichara, you can go on just doing the japa of I, meaning aham, 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 aham. So Bhagavan, he has instructed a very elderly lady, if you can't do this Atmavichara, okay, do japam of this aham, 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 aham. Aham means I. So by either of these means, you can try. But I agree with you, it is hard only. See, the physical disabilities and also the chronic pain and all, I agree with you, it's very, very hard, it's very unfortunate, it's very difficult to negotiate only. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you once again.
Next, Chetan Chauhan, would you like to ask some question to Swamiji?
शांति बाई ने अपने बेटे को
Not audible.
Please raise your voice. Put your phone close to your mouth.
Hariom, I'm audible.
Yes, now you are.
Yeah.
Yes, Hariom, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
While doing Atmavichara, I have the same problem. Before I ask you, while doing neti, I think that I remains, which is false, but I feel it remains. I am unable to go beyond that.
Once again, you repeat. When you say neti, what happens?
False I making neti. I'm not this, but that I is remaining.
Yeah.
I'm not going beyond.
Okay. See, Bhagavan is not asking you to say neti. He is not asking you to say neti. See, Bhagavan's Atmavichara is focusing your mind on this aham vritti or the I thought. and keep it there. So when you keep your mind continuously on the I thought or aham vritti with the intent of knowing the source of the aham vritti, Bhagavan says the aham vritti will just vanish, or it will merge with the self, or it will just disappear. So see, the traditional Vedanta thought is a different thing. They say neti neti and iti iti and all those things. That is a different method. But when you come to Bhagavan, he says you have to keep or turn the mind and keep it in the aham vritti. Nan irikiren, I am. That aham vritti is there, na? So we have to keep the mind in the aham vritti. It is not telling yourself that na iti, not this, not it. It is not. See, it is not speaking to yourself. Not uttering a word, he says. Muchu adakkikondu. Not uttering a word. You have to keep the mind, attention. You hold your entire attention on this I thought, meaning I. There is a feeling that I in our heart. So now this feeling is identified with the body. So it is called as aham vritti. When you keep the mind continuously there, that body identification will go and you will abide in the aham. That is the pure self. So it is a journey from the self identified with the body to the pure self, which is not identified with the body. So when you keep the attention, that small I, that slowly and steadily just blossoms into the infinite I through the Atmavichara. That is what we have to try and do.
Okay. And what about that small I engage with other thoughts?
See, other thoughts means, there are other ways. See, Naiti is not a simple thing. You have to study Vedanta and to understand what is Naiti, what is the Panchakoshas. And that is a different method or different way of approaching things. That you should learn from the learned Acharyas of how to go about this Neti. When you come to Bhagavan, he is not propagating Neti. He is saying keep the mind on the aham vritti or the I thought by asking who am I, or turning the attention to the I. Then the I will subside. That is what he is saying. That is what we should try. When you come to Bhagavan, you should try that. Suppose if you want to follow Neti, that is a different technique, which you should learn from the learned Acharyas who are following that path. That is the traditional Vedantic path. So they may try to help you how to go about in that Neti path. So Bhagavan is not propagating that idea of Neti, iti, not that.
Okay, thanks, Swami.
Okay.
ఇంకా ఎవరైనా ఉంటే ముందుకు రండి. ఎవరైనా అంటే హ్యాండ్ రేజ్ చేయడం కష్టంగా ఉందేమో, లేకపోతే వీడియో ఆన్ చేయడం కష్టంగా ఉందేమో, అలాంటి వారి కోసం ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఇస్తున్నాను. మీరే మ్యూట్ చేసుకుని మీరే అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు అడగదలుచుకున్న వాళ్ళు ప్రశ్నలు వారందరూ వారే అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకుని దయచేసి ప్రశ్న అడగండి. Those who want to raise a question, now you can unmute yourself. So please unmute yourself and pose a question.
నమస్తే గురుగారు. అడగమంటారా?
అడగండమ్మా.
అది 2 భాగాలుగా చెప్పారు. ఒకటి శ్వాస నిరోధం వల్ల, ఫస్ట్ ఏమో ఆత్మ నేను హృదయ కుహరంలో ఎలా చూడాలన్నది. ఆ ముందు భాగాన్నే ఇంకొకసారి బ్రీఫ్ గా చెప్తున్నానండి గురుగారు. ముందు భాగం అంటే లోపల హృదయంలోకి ఎలాగ వెళ్ళాలి, హౌ టు డైవ్ ఇన్.
Can somebody translate it for me in English?
Swamiji, there are two questions from her. The first one is how to turn inwards and reach Hridaya Kuhara. The second one is, can we turn inwards and reach the goal without resorting to breath control?
Yeah, Bhagavan says, if you turn within and try to seek the source, the kumbhaka happens naturally, he says. Bhagavan says, you need not try this pranayama or kumbhaka. This pavanacharana rodham happens by itself, he says. In the Atmavichara marga, if you sincerely turn within and dive deep within, he says the pavanachalana rodha, that happens by itself. So we need not worry about that. So even without trying to restrain the breath, if we can start straight away into this inquiry of who am I, the I will subside, means the false I or the ego I will subside. So how to go about, if you ask this question, we have to experiment. See, when Bhagavan has said something, then we have to sit, close our eyes. We have to now find out what is this feeling of I in our heart. There is a feeling of I, na irikiren, I am. There is a feeling. Because every day we talk about this I, na. I came, I went, I spoke, I did this, I did that. We go on saying I. So definitely there is something in us which feels I am. So we have to experiment with what Bhagavan is saying. So then we have to focus our mind. What is this I thought, or what is this I am saying, na? What is this I? Like that, if you start keeping the mind within, that is whatever you understand about this I, if you start keeping the mind in that I, then everything will happen by itself. See, it's a very, very subtle thing. Nobody can just hold on to your finger and take you like that. See, this much only we can give you hints. That is, there is a feeling I in our mind, in our heart. Now find out. You have to find out. You have to experiment yourself. It is not just asking somebody how to do this, how to do that. If it is a gross thing, we can put a video and we can explain to you with diagrams, with all those aids. But it is a very, very subtle thing actually. So therefore, now you have to sit quiet and then you have to find out, where is this feeling I is rising? What is this feeling I? See, it will take years together also. Meaning what? Every day if you try, maybe in some time you may find out what Bhagavan is trying to say or trying to tell us. So we have to experiment and we have to find out. Nobody else can help us. See, everywhere, wherever I go, people ask this question. Swamiji, it is all fine. What you are talking is fine. But how to exactly go about? Give us some practical tips how to dive deep in it. There are no practical tips and all. This is what? There is the feeling I in our heart. Everybody is feeling that. That is why we say I feel hurt. Somebody say something nonsense, we say I feel hurt. Now today I am joyful. So this feeling I is there within us. How can you say it is not there? It is there. Now we have to turn the mind with a sukshma buddhi, or with a amala madidannal, with a pure intellect. We have to turn within and we have to find out what is this I. See, this is the assignment. This is the experiment. This we have to do. Nobody else can do for us. And when you go on breaking your head on this project, on this assignment, what is this I? What is this I? What is Bhagavan saying? How to go deep within? What is this? What is this? If you are earnest, very sincere, and if you try again and again and again, then the light, meaning the guidance will come from within and you will know what he is talking. Then the Atmavichara becomes very beautiful, very simple, very easy. and that will take you to the ultimate. So there is no other shortcut. You have to try to find what is this I. But it is there with us always. See, even for japa you need that mala, japa mala. For other things you need so many other external things. But here in Atmavichara you don't need anything else. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, or sitting quiet, you can try this experiment. What is this I? What is this I Bhagavan is talking about? Who am I? What am I? Go on breaking your head. One day you will find an answer. Answer means what? You will find what it is. And then you can dive deep with it. Nobody can help us. The Guru who is in the heart as the Atma, the self, he alone can help us. And he will help if we are sincerely trying to turn within. He will definitely help. His grace would descend. And definitely we will know what it is. So we have to experiment, no other go.
जय जय अरुणाचल शिव रमण जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण ब्रह्म महेश्वर रूप रमणाय नमो नमः परात्पर श्री अरुणाचल कुमार भगवान् रमण नमः ओम महर्षि रमण वन्दे महात्मा रमण वन्दे वन्दे सद्गुरुदेवा जय जय अरुणाचल शिव रमण जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा अहमः स्मरण चालगम्य अरुणेश दैव रमणेश अनाथ रक्षक अखण्ड मौन घन आत्मज्ञान सुविकाश ओम भगवान् रमण पाहि भगवति श्री रमण पाहि पाहि सद्गुरुदेवा जय जय जितेन्द्रिय नायक रमण जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा अमला सुख मौन अचल चिदकार अहसाहस नटराजा अभयकर दान अपरमित ज्ञान अरुणामृत मुद तेज ओम गुरु रमणाय नमस्ते श्री गुरु परदेव नमस्ते नमस्ते सद्गुरुदेवा जय 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 हे जय श्री रमण जय जय सद्गुरुदेवा जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय सद्गुरु देवा